Good afternoon, and thank you all for inviting me to close out this important symposium hosted by the Homeland Security Dialogue Forum. I'd also like to thank all the panelists and experts who've shared their insights today. We need all of you because these are big issues that are challenging the old way of doing things. And many of you know my good friend and I, Congressman Will Hurd, just introduced a bipartisan congressional resolution calling for a comprehensive and whole-of-government approach to AI. Because let's be honest, AI is fundamentally changing and will continue to fundamentally change key aspects of our lives, government and national security. It is already impacting our places of work and the delivery of government services. This resolution, though, is just one part of a project that Will and I have been working on for over a year with the Bipartisan Policy Center. The end result was this resolution and 4 white papers addressing AI in national security, the workforce, research and development, and ethics. If you're interested, you can go to robinkelly.house.gov. In the top corner, you can search AI to find the resolution, download the white papers, or see my other work on these issues. Now, I mentioned that this process to craft these white papers took about a year, but that wasn't mine or Will's first adventures with AI technology and challenges. During the last Congress, Will chaired the IT subcommittee under the broader Oversight Committee. I was the ranking member because the Republicans were in control, but that didn't stop us from getting things done. Despite what you hear, Democrats and Republicans get along a lot better than people think. So we sat down and charted a course for our committee. We undertook major revisions as to how the government purchases technology. Many of you are familiar with the MGT Act, and we pushed for greater access via mobile devices as a way to close the digital divide with my Connected Government Act. Then we started talking about AI. In these conversations, we realized that we couldn't get it done in just one Congress. The issues are too big and the questions too complex. We also knew this challenge needed to be addressed and addressed properly. The stakes were too high. So we hosted a series of hearings and issued a report as a placeholder. Our report was the first ever report on AI. That was in 2018. How did we ignore this issue for so long? Picking up the ball after the 2018 election in the 116th Congress, we started working with the Bipartisan Policy Center, serving as our convening forum. That process created these white papers and the resolution. Throughout this process, one thing was clear. The level of change already created and the level of impact expected by AI requires our government to think long, hard, and strategically about our future. With AI impacting every sector from national security and military hardware to HR and payroll processing, we need a comprehensive whole-of-government approach that leverages public-private partnerships to our greatest advantage. But this can only happen if the left hand knows what the right is doing. And that requires forums like this. It requires all of us to keep working together. And it requires all of us to be transparent because no one has a monopoly on good ideas. We could not have put together these white papers, this resolution, or really did any of the good work that we did through the IT subcommittee without the constructive input of industry, advocates, and experts. Please know that my door is always open. No idea is too small or too big. Let's talk about it and see if we can solve real problems for real families. So in closing, I want to thank you again for taking on this challenge with us. Please read the white papers and send me your thoughts and feedback. This is just the next step in the process, and we all need to keep working together to achieve our goal. Positive benefits from AI for our nation and American families. Thank you again and keep up the great work.